Hello everybody and welcome to another Dimash reaction on Peace Beats with Dan Blackwell. If you enjoy my reactions, do make sure you hit the subscribe button and be sure to like and comment on this video. Let me know what Dimash songs you'd like me to get into next. Today we are listening to War and Peace 2021. So let's just jump straight into this and see what Dimash is bringing today. What kind of vocal stylings, what kind of emotional content, what kind of message is he bringing with this song? Let's find out and break it down a little bit. Okay, that was interesting. So the song's called War and Peace, and clearly we're starting with the war, because what we have here is we have staccato violas, and then you also have like cello and possibly bass. When you get those really low-end staccato sounds like that, you get a very militant sound. There's also, it's kind of layered up with some pizzicato where you pluck on the strings, and also some mark where you smack the strings with the bow. And these are all kind of used if you're composing a soundtrack and you have a scene in a film where war is beginning or war is being plotted or planned. You know what I mean? If you think Star Wars, the Imperial, like the Imperial March, dum 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 dum, it's got that kind of feel to it, doesn't it? And these intervals that they're using are they're not very kind, are they? They're not very gentle. They're not very like soulful or emotive. They're very kind of just very hard and dark and this sort of, I just see the color gray when I hear this kind of orchestral composition. And I think what they're trying to achieve here is to build up the image of war in your mind. Nothing beautiful, nothing good, nothing colorful, just black and white, you know, cruel and harsh. And I think that's what Dimash is doing here, compositionally, to sort of set the scene for this song. So let's see where we go from here. Wow, that is why love is so far away. Beautiful words from Dimash here. But what I'd like to point out from a musical standpoint, what's happening is, as I say, we have this very rigid black and white kind of almost evil sounding music. And that's enhanced as well, the use of synthesizers and sort of electronic layers, textures that are over this as well. It's very soundtrack music. It sounds like a soundtrack composer has composed this. I wouldn't be surprised if the composer Dimash has worked with here is a video game soundtrack composer or a film movie soundtrack composer or TV. It's got that more kind of modern mix of synthesized and orchestral textures together, that you don't really find in classical music, right? But what's happening is we have this solid, rigid music here, slightly sinister and dark, but what Dimash does is he doesn't match that musically. He comes from a completely different angle and sings very smooth, very gentle, very delicately, very calm. And what that does is it sets him apart from the music. It kind of creates an opening. I don't know about you, when I listen to music, it's very visual in my mind. And I kind of saw all of this. I saw tanks, I saw you know, barbed wire, I saw trenches, you know what I mean? And all of it kind of parted into an opening with nothing in it, with Dimash stood in the middle singing. You know, he was very, very far removed from everything around him there. I don't know if you had that same visual image, but let me know. Because that's what I get, because that's what's musically being created here. Is there's a juxtaposition, there's a contrast between what Dimash is doing vocally and what the music is doing. It's very, very, it's very artfully done. Tears turn into fossil over time. That's a misunderstanding and understanding. They're very straightforward lyrics with a lot of depth, you know, and I think sometimes the most complex things in life can be explained in the most simple way, and sometimes the other way around. But in a way, War and Peace is very simple, isn't it? It's if communication could be better, if diplomacy could be achieved, if understanding could be made, if people could be seen as equals, if people were not demonized, if everybody was humanized and everybody met on equal footing and found common ground. You know, none of those things sound too complicated, do they? But that's all that really needs to happen to achieve peace. And war is based on greed and money, power, and all those things seem very childish, you know? And it's so strange that so much horror can come from such childish desires, you know? It's something I'll never really get my head around. But I feel like Dimash is doing beautiful work here in kind of conveying that message. And musically, I'm finding the guitar and the drums are kind of Dimash's friends here musically, and they are swelling and rising and giving it more of a traditional song structure that he's kind of latching onto and growing with and building as his voice crescendos and gets more and more powerful throughout the song. What started as a voice that was very calm and solemn and you know, gentle has swelled into something powerful of its own, because peace cannot be achieved with calm alone. You know what I mean? You need power behind that kindness, and that's what Dimash is swelling into here, is really hammering the point home with power, with emotion, with heart, giving the message across. You know, make people listen. Make people listen to peace. Wow. Amazing. Never ceases to amaze. And I've said before, what I really love about Dimash is this mission of peace that he has, of this anti-war sentiment, and this sense of oneness as a people. You know, no matter what your background, your nationality, your religion, whatever it may be, we're all the same. We're all people, and you know, spreading that message, using his platform to do that, I think is just a very, very noble thing to do. And yeah, I think it's really, really wonderful. And yeah, it's just musically, I always find it a little overwhelming, you know, there's so much to kind of go into, and I can always kind of start a video quite analytically. But by the end, I'm just totally sucked into the emotion of it. And that's a job well done, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, where you just get sucked into the feeling of it, you get brought into the whole, it brings you right to the heart of what it's conveying, you know, and that's what Dimash does best. And this was a really, really, really strong one. This is where Dimash really shines, with a choir behind him, with electric guitar, with a strong orchestral backing. Like, his power really kind of comes through vocally, and he's able to kind of navigate all these textures, both orchestrally and electric synthesizers and rock and everything, so beautifully with the dynamic he has in his voice. It's it always makes for one hell of a journey. That was Dimash War and Peace 2021. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy my reaction videos, and if you'd like even more Dimash reaction videos, I've got a Patreon that starts from only $1 a month. I've also got members, which is $5 a month, and if you would like, that's on YouTube by the way, and that gives you early access to videos and other exclusive content. And if you'd like to make a request, I also have a Buy Me a Coffee. You can also just send support over there as well. It's greatly appreciated, and I will come back to you with a personal video message and a big old thank you. So, as always, everybody, take care of yourselves. Peace and love.